moment if you felt like you had to track him down to get some answers.
But
Anna shakes her head.
So many things, impossible things, had to go right for us to be able to sit here like this together in this house.
it happens to be very close to a great coffee shop, by the way.
Things are good now. Maybe we deserve things to be good for a moment.
Callan nods and kisses Anna on the forehead. Executive producer R. Scott Gemmell. Executive producer Shane Brennan.
Stay tuned for scenes from our next episode.
On our places, bright, shiny faces.
When you wake up in the morning, we want to be your go-to team.
I don't go to work in the morning. I go for coffee with my two good friends, and we talk about the world.
What does it take to change the story of a boy who fell in love with the game, lost his mom at 16, had to sleep on his best friend's couch, and averaged just 2 points per game in high school? What does it take? One viral video.
2021 NBA draft, Jason Preston from Ohio.
Connecting changes everything. AT&T.
I used to wait to run my dishwasher till it was super full. Now, I run it daily. Weekdays. Weekends? You might think that's wasteful, but it's not. Even half loads use 80% less water than hand washing, saving $130 on utilities. Cascade, dare to dish differently.
Lift your lashes to the next level.
L'Oreal Paris presents new telescopic lift mascara with our first ever double hook brush to get real lift, more volume, up to 5 millimeters more visible length. New telescopic lift mascara by L'Oreal Paris.
We're worth it.
Colbert's new with Nicolas Cage, Jennifer Garner, and Brian Cox this week on CBS.
New next Sunday.
Petty Officer Perez. New evidence was discovered.
The tooth. You think you can pull DNA?
New NCIS Los Angeles next Sunday on CBS.
The people who do this job come back the next day and do it all over again.
A new CSI Vegas, Thursday on CBS.
Is high-definition Lipo 360 together with skin tightening to achieve ultimate body sculpting results. Do a little something for you. Call Maj Medical today.
This is Murrow and Emmy Award-winning CBS 47 Eyewitness News at 11.
Emergency crews rushed to put out a fire in the South Valley neighborhood. One man displaced by the damage. And the city parks around Fresno crowded with families enjoying this Easter Sunday. Good evening. I'm Esteban Reynoso. Thank you so much for joining us. In the South Valley, we begin. Visalia police took a man into custody after they say he shot and killed a man in a wheelchair. This happened around 9:20 last night on Northwest 3rd Avenue. And officials say when they got there, they found a man in a wheelchair suffering for several gunshot wounds. He was rushed to the hospital where he later died. Investigators arrested 30-year-old Carlos Ayala. They say Ayala's mother and the victim got into a verbal argument, and he ended up confronting the man before shooting him multiple times. A gun was also recovered they believe he used in the shooting. Ayala was booked into the Tulare County Jail. And also in the South Valley, take a look at these pictures taken by the Visalia watchdog. Emergency crews rushed to an early morning fire, and it happened just after 3 in the morning on West Crenshaw Drive. When firefighters got there, they saw smoke and flames coming from the front corner of the building. We're told everyone inside got out safely just in time. Crews were able to put out the fire before it could spread to the attic or adjacent walls. No one was injured in the blaze. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Continuing our coverage of Assembly Bill 412, the bill would provide emergency loans to hospitals that are at risk of closing or have already closed, similar to the one of the Madera County Hospital, which you see right here is already closed. Assemblywoman Esmeralda Soria, who introduced this bill, she says this could help get Madera Community Hospital back on its feet. The hospital has been closed since December 30th. It forced many locals to drive miles away to find any sort of care. Assemblywoman Esmeralda Soria says the bill would secure funds from the California state budget.
The dollars will not be issued until there is a plan to reopen and a plan that shows that they can be sustainable. You know, we don't want to just throw taxpayer money at a problem without having a plan that demonstrates that it will work.
Madera Community Hospital already has $5 million secured in the budget, but before the hospital can receive those funds, it must show proof that it can get out of the negative and into the positive for profits. Around the state, a 13-year-old stole a car and took it for a joyride, driving sporadically on the road and then crashed into several cars, with some of them exploding. One person died and nearly a dozen more were injured. Tori Apodaca has the latest.
And I'm totally in shock. Nothing has ever happened here in Woodland like this.
The aftermath of a police pursuit in Woodland. 3 cars piled on top of each other, 2 of them going up in flames.
It's just horrible.
Woodland Police says an officer spotted a car driving erratically, heading northbound on College Street from Main Street.
He attempted to stop the vehicle, at which time it started to flee from him.
Police say that driver ended up crashing here at the intersection on Court Street. The suspect they were chasing, a 13-year-old boy on a joyride. Police say he stole the Honda Pilot from a family member.
It's terrible. Took 1 life.
1 woman died and nearly a dozen were injured.
Whenever there's a high-speed chase that results in a fatal collision with, innocent people involved, you wonder if there was any other thing they could have done.
This couple, who did not want to be identified, were among the dozens who heard about the crash and came to the scene.
First thing you think about are your kids.
Hoping it was no one they knew in the cars.
You wonder if there was any other thing they could have done besides chasing, the culprit.
A chase on a busy road in broad daylight, justified by police on scene.
It was a very short pursuit, so the hope is that their lights and siren are going to end the behavior that the person is having.
But that's not what happened tonight, as the chase sped through this 25-mile-per-hour zone.
Unfortunately, kids are young and they don't see that their actions have consequences.
Very sad. Very, very sad.
And also happening around the state, the abortion pill mifepristone is at the center of national controversy after 2 judges in different states gave the pill different rulings. A Texas judge's ruling would block access to the drug. The abortion pill is used in around half of all abortions and is the most common method of it. Now the White House is demanding the courts overturn the judge's ruling.
We intend to do everything to make sure it's available to them, not just in a week, but moving forward. Everything is on the table.
The pill went through an extensive trial of 4 years, and the FDA says during those trials, over 99% of patients did not have any side effects from the drug.
This is what democracy looks like.
Over 100 people took to the streets in Nashville, Tennessee today, demanding gun control weeks after the deadly shooting at a Covenant school in the state. Students and supporters brought signs and chants to make their voices heard. They marched throughout the downtown area and ended at the state's Capitol building, where a memorial for the 6 people shot and killed in that school shooting now lie. Several teenagers who took part in the march feel their safety at schools are still questioned, even in the wake of the shooting.
When I go to school every day, there's a voice in the back of my head saying, am I gonna be safe? Like, am I gonna actually get to go home and like see my parents tonight?
Every time there's a knock on an outside door, every time there's a passing period, I just feel this sense of dread. And even if it's momentary, it just grips me and I can't shake it.
The teens were also encouraging bystanders and one another to head to the polls because they say every vote counted towards the change they want to see, and that matters. Within the past several days, scores of classified government documents covering Ukraine and other parts of the world have started appearing on social media. It appears to be a major compromise of Pentagon secrets. David Martin has more.
As the U.S. arms and trains Ukraine ahead of its expected spring offensive, documents containing details of the buildup appeared on social media. One, titled Status of the Conflict as of 1 March, is marked top secret and appears to be a daily update provided to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs.
Is this just embarrassing, or does it do real damage to the cause of defeating Russia's invasion of Ukraine?
I think it's both. Undermining confidence between the cooperation of the United States and NATO and Ukraine, and also within the U.S. government, distracting us when we should be entirely focused on supporting Ukraine.
But former U.S. ambassador to Russia, now CBS News contributor John Sullivan, points out some of the information appears to be doctored.
Elevating Ukrainian casualties beyond a level that the U.S. believes has actually occurred, and vastly understating Russian casualties. So it makes Russia look good, makes Ukraine look bad.
The document puts the number of Russians killed in action at 16 to 17,500, wildly different from what General Mark Milley recently told Congress.
As you know, publicly, the Russians have well over 200,000 casualties.
Another update, marked secret, gives the expenditure rates for Ukrainian artillery, a number the Pentagon has not disclosed.
David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
If you walked out the door today, you saw how packed those city parks were. Coming up, how some people enjoyed the weather and the holiday. And as children hunt for eggs, parents hunting for the best deals. How a recent job report makes the economy look. When we come back, stay with us.
The drug landscape has changed. Illegal fentanyl has made its way into the drug supply. A synthetic opioid up to 50 times stronger than heroin, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. It only takes the tiniest amount to cause a fatal overdose. Although fentanyl is being mixed into almost every kind of drug, you wouldn't be able to see it, smell it, or taste it. Know the dangers. Learn the facts about fentanyl at cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
No matter what's happening outside with the Lennox Ultimate Comfort System, it's always perfect inside. Not just perfect air, perfectly tuned to your home air. And operates whisper quiet.
The Lennox Ultimate Comfort System. Perfect air, fully realized. Don't you wish everything was perfect? Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Call Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning today.
Help preserve the Great Plains at Castle Air Museum for future generations and enjoy a great day of golf at the Castle Air Museum Charity Golf Tournament. This year's event will be held at Madera Golf and Country Club in Madera Saturday, April 22nd with on-site registration starting at 10 a.m. Entry fees will help the continued upkeep and expansion of the Castle Air Museum's fleet of over 75 vintage military aircraft. Check out our website for pre-registration forms and more information. And don't forget to make a visit to Castle Air Museum and come be amazed.
It's time to end things. You're unreliable, and I can't keep fixing you. I want something better and more efficient. It's time for me to move on.
Breaking up? Don't settle for an old, outdated air conditioning unit. Upgrade to something better with Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. When you trade in your old unit, we'll give you $1,000 toward a brand new energy-efficient model. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We serve our customers, our co-workers, our community, and have fun doing it.
What makes best reviews the best reviews? They have an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on pretty much everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
So you can be confident that whatever you're buying is right for you, no matter what life throws at it. Like your daughter Clementine, for example. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Eyewitness News is brought to you by Radiance Tax Services. This is CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Thousands of people took to the parks across the city of Fresno to celebrate Easter. CBS 47's Rhett Rodriguez is in the studio with just how many people participated.
Thousands of people from Woodward to Roding Park could be seen having Easter egg hunts and barbecues and more. Cars line the streets of Fresno as family and friends flock to local parks to celebrate Easter Sunday. The smell of barbecue and the sound of laughter filled the air. Kimberly Alvarado says she and her family celebrate Easter at Woodward Park every year.
So every year we come here to Woodward Park to celebrate Easter. It's our tradition. It's been our tradition since I was about 3 years old. We come to this exact same spot here, and we pretty much just start the day off since 8 in the morning. We get here, we have breakfast here, we have lunch and dinner here, play volleyball all the time.
While Alvarado and others may wake up early, others take securing their favorite spot to a new level.
Woke up today at like 5, made sure I was here at 5:30, made sure we got our great spot. We got the playground in the back. You know, we got all the kids, we enjoy it. We love it every year.
Woodward and Roding Park have been known to reach capacity on Easter Sunday as families gather, and of course have their annual Easter egg hunt. Aaron Aguirre with the city of Fresno says he's not surprised by how fast the parks fill up.
So we have reservations as early as early part of March, late part of February. So a lot of folks do plan early for Easter at our regional parks.
The city is looking to benefit from the busy weekend. Parking is $5 per car into city parks if you could find a spot. The city says you can reserve certain spots with the Parks and Recreations weeks, if not months in advance to help better your holiday hangouts. In the studio, Rhett Rodriguez, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
And while a lot of people went to the parks to enjoy the holiday, one church brought their service to the parks and anyone that will listen. These community events held by Harvest of Harmony are called Churches Without Walls. They felt this Easter Sunday was the perfect day to get out and take over this park in Sanger. Organizers say it's better to bring the community together.
We've decided, and I believe God directed us to take church to the community, to get out of the confinements of the four walls that we're accustomed to.
They provided food, groceries, and Bible readings as well. They also gave out and hid 20,000 Easter eggs for the little ones. They mainly do the Church Without Walls events on special days like Easter and Christmas. And at Storyland and Playland in Fresno, they had their annual Easter egg extravaganza. It was a BYOB Bring Your Own Basket event for parents and children. The Easter Bunny also made a visit to children as well, handing out candies and toys. And for some parents, this Easter Sunday at Storyland, everything comes full circle.
I went when I was little, but this is my first time bringing her, so it was cool. I haven't been here, so it was really cool. I was like probably in kindergarten, so it's been like a very long time, but it was really nice.
Around 50 families showed up, and look at them showing off what they got, and they enjoyed the day as well, especially the little ones trying to find all the eggs that they could. Pretty cool. And while the kids have fun with egg hunting, parents are stuck looking for the best deal possible to save just a little bit of money ahead of the holiday. But it's what is going to happen after the holiday that has some economic experts worried. The latest jobs report shows 236,000 jobs were added last month, and unemployment is now at 3.5%. Both are lower than expected. Michael George has more on the numbers and how big of a role inflation plays.
In LA, many shoppers aren't happy this Easter holiday over the cost of their groceries.
It's unnecessarily expensive. You know, the price of everything went up and I'm not making a ton more money.
Here's the good news. The latest jobs report shows unemployment down to just 3.5%. But while overall the country is adding jobs, Meta and Amazon are laying off thousands of workers. Goldman Sachs, McDonald's, and Disney are also downsizing. FedEx is starting a massive restructuring, hoping to cut $4 billion. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says the Fed hopes that slower job growth leads to lower inflation.
The Fed needs to see the labor market cool down. The reason is when job growth is robust, when wages are rising, it means that people have more money in their pockets and spend more. That spending can contribute to inflation.
But there are side effects to 9 interest rate hikes over the last year. Auto loan rates are spiking, up from 5.6% last year to nearly 9%. The average American is spending more than $700 a month on a new car.
You come in to buy a car and suddenly the cost of financing it, and let's face it, most of us need to borrow to buy a car, has just skyrocketed.
Shakeups in the banking industry have also made it tougher to get credit, so many people are struggling to qualify for loans. So what industries are still seeing job growth? Leisure and hospitality, healthcare, and state and local government. As for industries seeing declines in March, that includes construction and manufacturing. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
A popular Central Valley brewery opening a new location. Coming up, we'll tell you where it is and taking you to that grand opening ceremony. But first, we've got to look at your 4-day allergy forecast brought to you by Boz Allergy, Asthma, and Sinus Center. Oh, man, you want to take that pill before you head out the door because you're looking at medium high to very high levels over the next 4 days. We'll have your full weather coming up. Stay with us.
Good news. No matter what you choose, you save. Carl's Jr.'s all-day 2 for $5 deal lets you pick 2 tasty items, like our savory cheeseburger, spicy chicken sandwich, chicken stars, or French toast dips for just $5. Only at Carl's Jr.
At Long John Silver's, our $6 shrimp baskets will save you from the sea of sandwich sameness. Whether they're fried to golden perfection or sizzling on the grill, our $6 shrimp baskets will have you hooked. Order online at longjohnsilvers.com. This year.
Elizabeth Vargas Reports, my new show, will not be an opinion show. It is a straight news show. The ground we've staked, you can see very clearly every night on News Nation. Sometimes we'll have different points of view. It's important to hear both. I think when people tune in, they want to hear who said what. They want to hear what it means to me. We'll leave opinion making up to our viewers who are smart enough to do that on their own.
Elizabeth Vargas Reports premieres tomorrow, 6/5 Central, only on News Nation.
When you experience a serious injury at work, it can change your life forever. You may be permanently disabled and unable to provide for your family in the way you always have. Don't trust the insurance company to tell you what your injury is worth. You need someone on your side who fights for you. At Barry Smith & Bartell, we are committed to making sure you can reclaim your life after even the most serious injury. Call us now for a free case assessment. Barry Smith & Bartell, bringing justice to injured workers.
Experience the freedom of the open road at the Best RV Center in Turlock. Voted #1 selling RV dealer in California, Best RV offers a huge selection of new and used RVs at the lowest prices with no hidden fees. From Class A, B, and C to travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and more. Best RV guarantees to make your travels unforgettable. Now through the end of April, take advantage of even bigger discounts with Best RV's Blowout Sales event. For the best selection at the best prices on all current inventory, visit bestrv.com today.
Good news. No matter what you choose, you save. Carl's Jr.'s all-day 2 for $5 deal lets you pick 2 tasty items, like our savory cheeseburger, spicy chicken sandwich, chicken stars, or French toast dips for just $5. Only at Carl's Jr.
Now, your CBS 47 pinpoint weather forecast.
Happy Easter Sunday, everybody. It was a really, really nice day to be out there, and I'm hoping that you got out there today because tomorrow things are going to heat up a little bit. About 8-degree difference from what we saw today compared to the highs. We had about 80 degrees as the high throughout the Central Valley, especially in Fresno, but tomorrow we're looking at potentially hitting close to the 90s. First, we're taking a look at our Valley Cam here. This is a look at Akuya Health at Visalia. So right now things are relatively calm. Looking at the trees, nothing really moving either, and that's really the story for the whole Central Valley right now. You're looking at really calm conditions, just about 5 miles an hour in Lemoore, 3 miles per hour in Fresno and Los Banos. So really nothing too crazy to worry about. So those Easter decorations are going to stay there for just a little while. As for the satellite and radar, this is what we're looking at over the past 12 hours, and not a drop, nothing to really look at. It was a really, really nice day out there, not even some clouds like what we saw yesterday. So it was a really good day to be out there. And as for the Fresno Almanac, and our average is 72 right now in the early spring, but we were just above that at 79. So yesterday we hit the average right on the mark. Now we're above it. Tomorrow we're going to be really, really above it. But first we're taking a look at your lows for tonight. So you're getting at just about under 50. So 49 in Fresno, 49 in Hanford, 48 in Visalia, Tulare, but in the North Valley you're you're looking at 47 for Merced and Madera areas. As for the mountains, you're not going to get anywhere near that freezing temperatures. You're looking at 34, so you're going to be relatively safe for Yosemite. As for tomorrow, this is the big story. We haven't seen a lot of these warm colors in a really long time, basically throughout this entire year. But you're looking at 88 in Lemoore, 87 in Fresno, 81 up in the North Valley. So things are going to be really, really warm tomorrow. If you thought today was a little bit warm, then tomorrow's going to be another one of those days. 66 up in Yosemite as well. On the foothills, you're looking at the high 70s too. So you're looking at a really, really big temperature change throughout the past 2 days. We were at about 72, then 80, now 88. So you're seeing these big jumps. As for a 7-day forecast, so tomorrow's the really big day, but once we get through tomorrow, things will level out. You're looking at 77 on Tuesday, 72 on Wednesday, 70 on Thursday, and there could even be a lot more clouds on Thursday. Up in the mountains, you're kind of seeing what I'm talking about there. You see that slight chance on Thursday, and temperatures really start to dip. We have this area of low pressure coming through, so we've got a 66 tomorrow for the mountains, 52, then 51, and some potential for some light snow, some potential rain up there, but nothing to worry about too much. Then things start to go back to normal on Saturday and Sunday in the low 60s to mid 60s, and those lows really nothing to worry about either. It's going to be a pretty relatively calm week. Coming up next in sports, the Fresno State men's basketball team gets commitments from a couple transfers, and one of them is coming from within the Mountain West. Our Scott Bemis is next with Sports Central. Stay with us.
Insurance companies don't love us, but people here do.
The heavy hitters never stop fighting for you.
The insurance companies know the Curtis Legal Group wins.
And we win a lot. Call the Curtis Legal Group, the heavy hitters.
1-800-LAW-3080. See that? Our new menu is mashing the past, the future, the delicious, and the yum-believable. So whether breakfast, lunch, dinner, or late night, at Denny's,
it's diner time.
My knees, bone on bone, would wake me out of a sound sleep, throbbing every single night. Dr. Rowland was really amazing. When I came in and I realized how much they cared about my pain and helping me find an answer, that was the most wonderful thing. I'm able to do so many things now that I haven't done for probably 15 years. You don't have to feel so badly. And I'm able to do more than I thought I could, and I know I'm going to feel better for years and years to come.
Don't settle for surgery. Call Innovative Medical Center.
At Rally's, I'm in the driver's seat. Give me that $5 meal deal with a Rally burger. Nah, a mushroom Swiss burger. Plus fries, chicken bites, and a drink for just $5. Or why not go big? I want a fried mushroom Buford. Whatever you order, own it at Rally's.
Insurance companies don't love us, but people here do.
The heavy hitters never stop fighting for you.
The insurance companies know the Curtis Legal Group wins.
And we win a lot. Call the Curtis Legal Group, the heavy hitters.
1-800-LAW-3080.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota.
Let's go!
It's time to spring into adventure. Experience everything that awaits this season in a new Toyota. Get low 3.99% APR financing on the stylish, fuel-efficient Camry. Or lease a Camry for just $379 a month. Toyota, let's go places. Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
After seeing 4 scholarship players from this past season's Fresno State men's basketball roster enter the transfer portal in recent weeks, we're learning who might be replacing those guys next season. And one of the names is a player coming from another school in the Mountain West. As Sunday, Wyoming shooting guard Xavier Dussel announcing on Twitter he's now committed to the Bulldogs. He entered the transfer portal about 3 weeks ago. Dussel played a significant role at Wyoming the last 3 years, averaging 8 points per game this past season, which included a team-best 42.2% from three-point land. Now, it's also being reported Enoch Wachi has committed to Fresno State from the transfer portal. He's a 6'10" former 4-star recruit who saw limited playing time the last 2 seasons at Arizona State. By the way, also Sunday, Bulldog men's basketball coach Justin Hudson tweeted, it was, quote, a great day to be a Bulldog, and, quote, stay tuned for more good news. So reading between the lines here, sounds like Justin plans on being back next season.
Former Bulldog Aaron Judge had another big day in Camden Yards. What's new? In the third, the reigning AL MVP sends one sailing straight out to center. Then in the top of the eighth, Judge going to drill one over the short wall in left center. Home runs number 3 and 4 on the season for him. Helped the Yanks to a 5-3 victory over Baltimore. Judge now has 37 career dingers against the O's, which is the most any player has against a single opponent since 2017. By the way, Judge also hitting .364 through 9 games. It was the final day of the NBA's regular season with a bunch of seeding in the West still to be determined. The Lakers ended up with the 7th seed after taking care of the Jazz by 11 in LA. LeBron hit 8 threes, finished with 36. The Lakers later found out as the 7th seed they're going to be hosting Minnesota in the 7-8 play-in game on Tuesday night. The Warriors, meantime, secured the 6th seed in Portland by setting an NBA record with 55 points in the first quarter. And they didn't slow down after that. Watch this dunk by Kuminga. It was crazy. The Warriors will play the 3rd-seeded Kings in the first round. Also Sunday, the Clippers clinched the 5 seed. Will match up with 4th-seeded Phoenix in round 1. Golf's first major is in the books. Jon Rahm entering a long Sunday of golf at the Masters. 4-shot back of Brooks Koepka, but the Spaniard assuming the lead on the front 9 in the final round. That pitch on the par 5 8 there was a beauty. And with Phil Mickelson having already posted 8 under par for the tourney thanks to a Sunday 65, Rahm puts his stamp on the tournament with that shot out of the rough there on 14, led to a birdie. He'd finish off a 4-shot win with a scrambling par on 18. Mickelson becomes the oldest runner-up in Masters history, but it's Rahm who gets the green jacket to go along with the U.S. Open title he won at Torrey.
Never thought I was going to cry by winning a golf tournament, but I got very close on that 18th hole. And a lot of it because of what it means to me and to Spanish golf, right? It's Spain's 10th major for a player to win the Masters.
All right, finally to that story from Sunday, a little better than the rest. It's Bemis' best, and there is a Kingsburg couple who brings a little taste of the Masters to the heart of the Central Valley every year. Not only do Dwight and Kathy Hughes keep their replica Masters scoreboard updated alongside the 11th hole at Kings River Golf and Country Club, but Kathy also makes pimento cheese sandwiches and egg salad. 2 other Masters traditions for friends and family on Masters weekend. And so we salute them and their tradition, and perhaps more importantly, that cool scoreboard also gets a coveted spot in Bemis' best. That's pretty cool. They've been doing this every year since they got a chance to go to the Masters in 1995. The news continues after the break.
We've seen a wet winter season this year. Along with green grass and spring flowers, allergies may start earlier, and COVID, flu, and other viruses are still very active. Buzz Allergy knows coughing, wheezing, and headaches due to allergies and asthma can mimic virus symptoms. Take away the guesswork and get proper diagnosis and early treatment from our Valley locations before allergy symptoms arrive. Stay safe and stay healthy. Contact Buzz Allergy today and breathe easier.
When you need style, selection, and all-day comfort, stop by the SAS Shoe Store at Blackstone and Herndon. SAS shoes are for work and play, indoors and out. They fit any lifestyle, and you'll love the enhanced comfort, support, and stability in every step. SAS shoes come in slim to wide, and you'll receive a personalized fitting to ensure a perfect fit. Find style and comfort at the SAS Shoe Store at Blackstone and Herndon. Life's a journey. Wear comfortable shoes.
Come to W Furniture and see what's in store. You'll find everything you need for your ultimate backyard experience. Umbrellas for sunny days, fire pits for starry nights, even furniture made for lounging in your pool. Comfortable, beautiful, affordable, built to last in all kinds of weather. W Furniture carries the best brands with lots of variety immediately available. If it's on the floor, you can take it home. From the familiar to the unexpected, you'll find it at W Furniture next to Hobby Lobby in Clovis.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Brian Dorman and Catherine Herr, award-winning investigative journalists, with Chief Meteorologist Lauren Wallace. Weekdays starting at 4 p.m. The Emmy and Murrow award-winning CBS 47 Eyewitness News team. To watch CBS 47 Eyewitness News anytime, go to Xfinity On Demand and click Get Local.
Welcome back. A big weekend for Tioga Sequoia. The Tap Room opened their new Merced location. Take a listen.
Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Just like that, everyone was pretty excited, and look at that. I mean, hey, once you get the keg going, you got to empty it out a little bit, get all the foam out. That was the big grand opening on North Street in Merced. Organizers say it's been a dream of theirs to grow the brand and community around the valley with this new space. And the block party had music, food, truck, and vendors. The Tap Room opening is part of the push to revitalize downtown Merced. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to try Half Dome when I'm down there one of these days. That seems pretty awesome. And as for the weather, it was a really nice day to be out there and grab one of those taps or grab a drink right there. It's 87 tomorrow, though. We're gonna heat up tomorrow, but then things start to level out throughout the rest of the week. You're looking at 77 on Tuesday, really cloudy on Thursday, and that's when it starts to dip, and then we start to pick up just a little bit. 78 and then 81 again. It's going to be deja vu next week. As for the mountains, you're looking at the potential for a slight chance of some rain and snow on Thursday, but temperatures are going to be around 50 degrees too, and then we go back up next weekend. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Eyewitness News at 11. Have a great night and be safe.
Today, buying drugs is as easy as sending a text. Parents, please talk to your kids about the dangers of fentanyl-laced drugs before it's too late.
At Central Floor Supply, our new showroom is filled with name brand, waterproof flooring, and luxurious carpets. We have better selection, better quality, and much better prices than the big box stores. For the best in flooring and real customer service, visit Central Floor Supply.
Chances are we've already met. But when we meet here, this is where our worlds will come together. Cahuilla Health is built for this moment in your life. We are courageous, resilient, ready. Health is our passion, and excellence is always our focus. Because when you come in here, our priority is to get you back out there.
Cahuilla Health, more than medicine, life.
Disaster and damage can strike anytime. It's good to know the professionals at Servpro have the training and equipment to get your life back on the right track. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, for restoration and cleaning, count on Servpro of Clovis, Visalia, Fresno, and Shaver.
Help preserve the Great Plains at Castle Air Museum for future generations and enjoy a great day of golf at the Castle Air Museum Charity Golf Tournament. This year's event will be held at Madera Golf and Country Club in Madera, Saturday, April 22nd, with on-site registration starting at 10 a.m. Entry fees will help the continued upkeep and expansion of the Castle Air Museum's fleet of over 75 vintage military aircraft. Check out our website for pre-registration forms and more information. And don't forget to make a visit to Castle Air Museum and come be amazed.
My specialty is in allergy and immunology. I tell all my patients, I'm building you an immune firewall. Our body is our temple, and the skin is the first immune defense system that one has. That's the benefit that my patients get.
Now YourCentralValley.com pros who know.
Increase the efficiency of your home's closets. We specialize in both walk-in and reach-in designs that fit your budget and style. Call now for a free in-home consultation.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
Real-time views where you live. The CBS 47 Valley Cam Network. The following paid commercial program does not reflect the opinions and views of Nexstar Broadcasting Incorporated, this station, or their employees and affiliates.
The following program is sponsored by Mercy Ships. 5 billion people lack access to safe surgery. It's a staggering number,